Right, first question. I welcome the Bus Air and the National Transport Authority before us this morning. I think it is a timely discussion. You mentioned the Dublin metropolitan area. Is every single route in the Dublin metropolitan area, is that paying for itself? Is that returning a profit? Because I think that there is an attitude that that the services throughout the rural communities are seen, and we've seen it in relation to the ESB, the broadband issue. They're kind of saying we have a dispersed population, and they're kind of tutting at the notion of a dispersed population. And the language that's coming from me this morning is that there's another tutting at a dispersed population. Well, people are living in these communities, and they need, as other deputies have said and senators have said, they need a proper service. And I think that there has to be a change of attitude from Bus Éireann and from the National Transport Authority, that these services have to be upgraded, these services have to be maintained, and these services have to be advertised. I'd like to ask, when were the last time any of the services that you proposed to cut in the South East, when were they last advertised in any meaningful way by Bus Éireann or the National Transport Authority? And another issue as well, in terms of the rural transport initiative that was run by many of the local development companies, and there was an amalgamation or a sense of tidying up those rural development or those rural bus services over the last year and a half. In my own county, in County Cork, we set up a one office in Bantry for the entire county. Now, Bantry to North Cork is probably twice the length of some counties, not a mind anymore. And I think that what you have done there is you have pulled that service, that rural transport initiative, away from the communities. And a lot of the local development companies were doing excellent work in knitting together the kind of information, or knitting together the kind of understanding of their communities that would almost be impossible to collect on a national basis, in terms of hospital appointments, when the various clinics were on in different hospitals, when the various things were on, that they were putting in a service there. And one final point, I really could go on all day, because I think there's a major discussion that has to be held by ourselves as to whether we're going to maintain services in rural communities, or whether we're going to just throw a line around the Dublin metropolitan area, for the want of a better term, and say that's where we're going to concentrate on. And the other thing in relation to the school transport initiative, you mentioned there in one of the answer to one of the questions that you didn't have the legislative power to make that school transport initiative available right throughout the communities. What legislative change would have to take place in relation to the school transport initiative to make that available to you as some possibility of providing a service to communities that really deserve the service and need the services? Thank you.